What a well-kitted out place. I have confidence in every appliance, high-density laminate piece of furniture, ergonomic and mature design concept for layout and decor. Though the sharp knife was a bit hard to cut on a flat surface but here was comfort, warmth and a good night's sleep. When I wake up to do something in another room, the brightest possible LEDs blow up in my face automatically, turning a nice dark walk to the toilet into a panic of being suddenly wider awake, as if a radio had spontaneously been tripped on to force you to stay awake, which is so helpfully printed on mugs. So the element of choice in one of the most comfortable situations in town. For customers, users responsible enough to afford staying in a hotel, let alone knowing when to switch off a light, is so fascinatingly taken out of the equation. Instead, the fresh air and choice of when to turn the lights off is taken over by the hotel. That is not smart technology, but banal and patronizing. The windows will not open. You are in the breathing system of the building within the system that is harvesting your energy. It is very quiet. The air conditioning roars as part of the startup applications as the key is slotted in to allow electricity. With the zoom of large, elegantly black lungs of the building, they deem the atmosphere of Manchester, Lancashire, of earth and the sky, and the future within the life of this long-term establishment, and ramming it down my throat that that's all I'm going to breathe as long as I'm in here. Whatever is inside, whatever internal monster lurks is in there that I have no choice but to trust. The circulating chlorine when I arrive, I thought there was a swimming pool. Unseen detergents and non-ionic surfactants, bleach, human and machine detritus of building materials that remained residually, as well as machine and building detritus that residually separates, customer skin follicles, chemical cocktails customers have unwittingly added to the toxic equation. The circulating toxicity is all of these factors modulo the enclosed atmosphere. But deeper through the breathing ducts and beyond their junctions, and where they confer as I drift off, I imagine an underworld, one that boasts a depth as great as the outdoors. The merchant's soul black and blowy, where the dream takes me to a deep, dark and clean wind of the perfect temperature. I can fly in the dark and hear nothing but my own safety being protected. Is it outlandish to purport that domatophobia, the fear of being inside a house, is being encouraged or exacerbated by a hotel without opening windows? Or perhaps spelunkophobia, the fear of caves, or claustrophobia, the fear of being in enclosed spaces, are possible side effects of staying at StayCity Piccadilly, not Laystall Street. Psychologically, I would say the relationship the customer has with the hotel is governed by a particular parental personality that puts itself above nature itself, a completely evil notion in my humble opinion. All hotels are somewhat parental because they take care of a wide variety of needs. That while the individual playing customer within the dominion of the hospitality industry can do perfectly well for themselves, it's dialed in by the policy, managers and their technicians. A hotel entity, therefore, has most encompassing decision-making power within their style of living that influences subjects' emotional, psychical and physical state. Once they've submitted to it, that is. All this just to avoid getting sued if someone is suicidal? That is a bit like being on suicide watch. Staying in an apartment is intended to be more suitable for long-term accommodation than a hotel. The longevity factor in staying is where you let your head to rest and where you like to feel welcome, but also to let one's guard down on their own terms, in private, being sensitive to different levels of consciousness and therefore susceptible to the narratives shaping design. In some areas we are aware and agree to without reading the relevant terms. Probably as any fully functioning hotel these days, this one collects as much data about me as possible on my movements, my preferences, use of my central heating, water levels, whatever can be sensed. Hotels are potential brokers of personal data if they collect it. And something tells me that this place is so well kitted, I wouldn't be shocked if it had advanced surveillance equipment embedded into the floor and the tables and the lights, observing how often I walk to the kitchen and how forgetful I am when collecting items from the other room, which I am. How often I look at the pictures of local culture on the wall. But the prized data set is wireless internet use, and run-of-the-mill casual spying is what you expect from anyone with a tech budget these days, so feel lucky that this place is paid for by someone else. But since that's my only option, I'm moving. Central office agrees to let me transfer to Laystall Street, where there is no breakfast service, where they have windows that open. It looks like the back end of a Go Outdoors department store, however, is by necessity, charm and positivity a much lovelier place. The staff seem more locally calibrated to relaxation. There are real keys. In apartment 1101, I sleep on the bedroom facing the ring road because fumes from Pez Bar die casting occasionally waft from the other side. And through the curtain rings, lights from below trail the ceiling. For weeks I enjoy watching them and relaxing, thinking of moving things in my life. It isn't until then that I realise the lights moving are colourful reflections of all the vehicles below, copied twice on either side.